RAW, that they claim stood for rough as hell. You yourself just called them that, a street acumen that stood for rough as hell. But his family said that he adopted a Muslim name of Rahim, which means merciful and compassionate in Arabic. But that's not what the police put out there. They put out rough as hell. Now, come on, Doc. Come on, Doc. Even you got to admit this is a little bit of a stretch. You know, that's like me calling you Doc and saying Doc, D-O-C stands for dedicated old criminal. Come on now. I'm sure you wouldn't even. This is downright ridiculous. This is. How can you defend this?
Brother Shabazz, you want to jump in?
I planted my feet on the rock of eternal right. I affirm that slavery is wrong, a moral wrong, a violation of every commandment of the Decalogue, that no law can make it right to practice it or to support it, or to in any way aid and abet it, that the fugitive slave law is a war upon God, upon his law, and upon the rights of humanity. That to obey it or to aid in its enforcement is treason against God and humanity, and involves a guilt equal to the guilt of violating every one of the 10 Commandments. I never had obeyed it, never would obey it. I had assisted 30 slaves to escape to Canada during the last month. If the United States authorities wanted anything of me, my residence was at 39 Onondaga Street. I would admit that they could take me and lock me up in the penitentiary on the hill. But if they did such a foolish thing as that, I had friends enough in Onondaga County to level it with the ground before the next morning. The immense throng rose upon their feet and shouted, "We will do it." This is what should burn in every black man's heart. You see your brother being hunted and persecuted by an unjust government, an unjust law, an unjust man, you better stand and level his very existence with the ground. You can't follow the God I know and be no punk. You started off by saying, where do we stand on this? I say we need to stand together or else fall apart. Like Jesus said, a house divided against itself cannot stand. I bet you a nickel to a dime you stole that from Farrakhan. No need to steal, old man. See, we've been stolen upon for way too long. I said now is the time for it to stop. Now is the time that we need to stop begging, pleading. Hell, not even Moses begged that much. He caught more hell than we ever could face right now today. Went over there one time into Egypt and told Pharaoh. He didn't plead, he didn't beg, he didn't borrow. But here we are still today, buying up some new shoes to march up and down the street, begging an unjust man for justice. How colored is that? No, brothers, one time, one cause. We need to come together and show them that we mean business. No more will you rob our brothers and sisters. No more will you rape our minds and our spirits. No more will you murder our children under your sick, twisted guise of we can. So what? What are you going to do? No, brothers and sisters. I say now is the time to put up or shut up. I'm tired and my feet hurt, so no more marches. No more singing and dancing. Hell, even Soul Train had sense to get off the air. We got work to do. And there's no time better than the present. Nobody told me about this before I got here. Now, what are we doing here? I thought we was talking issues, people. Issues! Well, what about white people? What about them? I mean, can white people join in your cause and support, or is this just for black people? The upliftment of a race must begin within the race itself. You can't have Gladys Knight without the Pips, or Shaka without Rufus. So no, the inclusion of white people would not be beneficial for us at all. The hell? So white people can't help in any way? Unless they're willing to lay down. I don't have much use for them. I mean, but you start off your brilliant soliloquy quoting a white man. No, he's not. Wait a minute. In 1855, Reverend Luther Lee, a white abolitionist, a pastor at Wesleyan Methodist Church up in Syracuse, New York, wrote that response to the Fugitive Slave Act back in 1850. You got a picture of him? Not on me. Well, until then, when you can get one and you can show and prove, then you can bark. Until then, brother still remains a white man. I mean, a black man. You see, that's my point, brother. It shouldn't matter what race you are, what color you are, what language you speak, whether you're male, whether you're female, whether you're rich, whether you're poor. Only thing that should matter is if you're right or wrong. Which side are you going to stand on? If you choose to stand on the side of right, why should it matter if you're of this color, of this race, of this, you speak this language, or if you're this gender? I love all people, but I love myself and my people first. In order for us to better our condition, we need to come together first as a people, before we allow others to join us. I never said I didn't want the human race to join us. I just want us to join us. I'm tired of going to marches and rallies for us when I look around and see faces that aren't like us in the crowd, screaming louder than us. You see, brothers, the word of the day is not them, but us. And I concur. I think we should be more involved in our own situation, our own struggles. I mean, I've seen the same thing. I've gone to the same rallies and watched more people who don't look like us out there participating in matters that concern us. While you're marching up and down the street, blaming everybody for the black man's condition and blaming everyone else, you keep doing it to yourselves. We keep doing it to ourselves, if you will. I mean, first of all, whether Mr. Davis shot or Mr. Cole shot this police officer, the fact remains that one of these black men murdered this police officer. No, just the right man. You see, there's a rule of this in law enforcement that says if there's a 1% chance that a black man shot and killed a white police officer, and there's a 99% chance that we can try, convict, and execute this man for him, that's your 100% right there that he did it, and we can get him. You see, no, it's called covering your bases. The police knew sooner or later they was going to get a lifetime criminal like Red Coles anyway, so it didn't matter. 2 cats on 1 gun? Lucky thing he threw away that 38, because if he would have been found with that, the cops would have believed him. Wasn't it the same cat who claimed that he changed shirts with Troy somewhere? No, hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute, let me see here. I had it over here. Oh, wow. No, according to Coles, he went to his sister's house 30 minutes after the shooting to retrieve a t-shirt. Shortly thereafter, according to Coles, Mr. Davis, Troy, showed up at his house asking to borrow his yellow t-shirt. I'd say it again. Did you hear? His yellow t-shirt. He needed his yellow t-shirt so he can flee to Atlanta with his sister. Now, let me get this straight. First of all, we understand that before all of this happened, that Troy Anthony Davis wasn't some crazy guy, right? If that being the case, I just want to make sure I got this right. You mean to tell me that